Hello, everyone. I'm Sigurd, Kimber, Magnum, Jamin, Simon, Jamal, whatever you want to call me nowadays, and I've got a video in store for you guys today. I've delayed working on this video longer than I really needed to, and as much as I wish that I had more information, this is about as good it's going to get and the best that I can possibly get. However, I do appreciate those who did reach back out to me to give a little bit more context and maybe provide a little bit more depth for this video. So, without further ado, please enjoy. Have you ever wondered what happened to this channel compared to, say, 5 years ago during its peak, if you were around during that time? Well, today I'm going to be here to talk a little bit about my experience, what happened, how I felt, maybe how I made some other people feel. And I do want to note before I say anything possibly quote unquote incriminating that I do not condone anything that I have said in the past, nor the things that I have done. Obviously, I haven't really done anything bad, but I wasn't exactly a good person back in the day, and I do apologize to those that maybe I made a little frustrated, maybe I upsetted. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful life about 6 years later. And I do ask that if you are someone that maybe I had a lot of experience with, I'm going to leave my Discord tag in the description of this video if you'd like to come and maybe talk a little, maybe share your own insight that obviously won't be added to this video, as by the time that you see it, it will already be uploaded. But I would like to maybe hear a little bit more about some of the people that I used to talk to. Now, I'm not going to lie. A lot of things have happened within the last 6 years, good and bad. Times are fairly blurry, so I'll do the best that I can to explain everything. Around 2020, during the beginning of COVID, I started playing a little Roblox game, as a lot of you know as Criminality, or Crim. At the time, it had less than 1,000 players. I think it was closer to 500 when I got into it, and I really needed something to do. The game was only about 100 Robux, so I bought it and started playing. Not much really happened until the end of 2020 when I met a small group of guys that I kind of hit off with fairly well, and I got invited to their clan, the Furry Killer Crew, or FKK for short. I did meet a couple guys in there that I ended up hanging out with for the foreseeable future. A couple guys that I wouldn't really be able to remember even if they showed me proof of us being around each other. But I digress. Now, as some of you may or may not know, unfortunately, I am a furry, so I kind of didn't really fit into the Furry Killer Crew. Shocker, who would have thought? It also didn't help that I was a bit of an egotistical asshole with the leadership complex. Now, the problem at the time was there weren't really a whole lot of groups that were willing to take in someone like me, so I stuck with FKK until internal affairs happened, and I ended up leaving and creating my own clan, as some of you know, as the Diamond Coalition. It was self-created to replace FKK because of the toxicity and time changes, which is pretty ironic, as because, again, I was kind of a piece of shit. Very quickly, I disbanded it, and I kind of shied away from Crim for a little while there, and the people that I played with. Still kept in touch with a few, but maybe not as much as I really should have. Around 2021, I rejoined FKK and left it again and joined a group called Delta. It had been around since when I joined FKK, but it wasn't nearly as big. The group wasn't great. Obviously, a kids game is going to have kids playing it, and it was fairly toxic, somehow worse than FKK. So I quickly left, and a group of my old friends from FKK made a clan called Omega. And as you can probably guess, it didn't last very long, so I also quickly left. Around the same time, my infamous RCU is no more video got uploaded, and it got a lot of traction, like 10k views in the first week traction, and it got me pretty heavily back into Crim because of it. I made quite a lot of pretty bad YouTube videos, but I had a lot of fun doing it. I had a lot of fun with the people that I played with. I had a lot of fun with the time that I spent. And despite the fact that I never really fit in with the guys, I still enjoyed their company. Obviously, I had a different mentality and different habits than everybody else, so it wasn't really destined to be. Towards the end of 2021, the old Blackout by Silver or Oh the Silver, got released. And, well, we were on that shit like rats to a pie. In my opinion, it was way better than Crim, with more depth, but nothing really with me changed. I still made the same angsty bullshit and was still kind of a hunk of junk who kept pissing people off. In early 2022, Blackout got taken down, and unfortunately, it was taken down for good. So, what happened then? Well, most of the guys kind of stopped playing much. We still played a bit of Crim, but not a whole lot. We kind of just played stuff as we got older, as most of us were starting to become adults, so gaming wasn't really a big thing to us. There was a new group, the Floppa Resistance Army, or FRA, but the brotherhood that we had was mostly gone. In July of 2022, I went off to the US Navy and wasn't really around for that long, as most of you know. I started my separation process in January of 2023, and I got out in September of 2023. But even during that time, I was still playing games, I was playing Crim, I was uploading videos, and just kind of waiting on my release. Now, in my notes here, in my script, it says to ramble about the end. So, I don't really have much else to put for this video. I mean, I do. I have a whole other section, so keep watching, obviously. But I used to love Crim. I used to think Criminality was one of the most creative and fun games that I had ever played on the Roblox platform. Crim 1.1 during the winter was some of the most gut-busting fun I'd ever had in any video game. Throwing snowballs at people, throwing people across the map with the Slayer Sword. I remember screaming like a madman at like 2 in the morning trying to kill the main dev of, what was it, Tower Defense Tycoon, I think. You know, the one that's still kind of popular. I tried to kill him with a C4 while I had Slayer armor on. You know, Crim to me was a great game, but it was kind of ruined by the game itself. I mean, a game like that is going to breed evil, kind of, you know. I've probably got some old Crim footage in the background here, probably from some of the montages, because in 2023, my PC kind of killed itself. So I don't have any footage. But, you know, Crim was a game that you could hop into for like an hour, have a lot of laughs, and just kind of shoot the shit. And I kind of wish that I still could play a game like that. You know, I get into Crim now. Hell, I'm 22. I turned 23 this year. By the time we were done playing Crim, I was 18. So a lot has changed. When I go play Crim now, I jump into a casual and I just kind of run around and smack people in the head with a wooden bat. It's not the same game. But, you know, regardless, I still had fun. I enjoy all the memories that I had, all the people that I got to meet, all the shenanigans that we got to get up to. You know, if you were there, some of you guys, if you remember the C4 elevator, I think that GIF is still somewhere on Discord. I bet you could find it. You know who you are. You saw that when you were there. That was funny as hell. So I think other than that, you know, I'm gonna say my closing words, and I'll let you guys get out of here, go on with the rest of your day. You know. Now, try as I might and obviously fail, I tried to keep this video short because I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about the people that I was with, and kind of apologizing, so to speak. I got in contact with some of the guys that I used to play with. Not as many as I would have liked. There was a whole crew of guys that I either could not get in contact with at all, or just never got back to me, which completely fair. Again, we're all adults at this point in our lives, so there wasn't a whole lot of room to be made. And, you know, I can't stall this video any longer, or it just won't come out. This is a fair warning. I fully admit to the guilt of the things that I have said and done in the past. There's no way around it. I was fairly vile. I was raunchy. I said a lot of things that I should not have, and I apologize. I've grown older. I understand especially now that what I had said was wrong and the things that I had done was wrong. And I don't expect people to accept that apology, but I hope that, people think about it and it kind of sticks with them at some point. I hope that if any of the guys that I played with, again, watch this, they may accept the apology and know that I never meant to hurt anybody. It was all in, at the time, fun and teenage angst, or that I was even acting out of malice. So, again, if you are one of the guys that used to play with me or watch my videos, hit me up. Like I said, I'm gonna leave my Discord tag in the description. Hit me up. We'll talk, and that's all you gotta do. So I'd appreciate it. Now, to start the quotes, unfortunately, I do have one that hits a little bit harder to me. Quote, well, you were always mean to me, and you made some racist remarks to me, end quote. And you know who you are. I don't disagree with what you have said. I have unfortunately said some pretty nasty things in the past that I do very much regret. I really wish that I had thought about what I was saying before I said everything. I do hope that you could maybe accept my apology one day, understand that I was a dumb kid. It's obviously no excuse. I'm not even gonna ask for forgiveness either. So I'm sorry about that. Quote, it was pretty chaotic in a fun way, I think. Like, the entire Crim social ecosystem was kind of small, so everyone knew who everyone was in a way. And since COVID had everyone not doing anything, I think everyone had a ton of time to play and stuff. Some people took the comp aspect more seriously than the others, and of course, but overall, I look back and I think it was pretty fun. End quote. I agree. I think Crim at the time was in a really good spot because it wasn't a hyper competitive shooter, kind of like it is now. You go into a standard server and you're just like instantly reamed. Do people still use that word? But you can't get on Crim nowadays without knowing people. Otherwise, you're just gonna have a bad time. So it's kind of a shame that that doesn't really happen anymore. Quote, I think it was pretty fun. I don't remember too much, but I remember had lots of fun playing Crim. It's probably why I have over 700 hours in it. End quote. Yeah, I mean, I do know that a lot of the members that we had were on the younger side of things. Um, Crim was fun. I hate to see it. Crim was a lot of fun. I do hope that everyone that I played with can maybe look back on it, look back at the time that we had, look back at some of the clips that maybe they still had, and reminisce, wish for a simpler time. And I do appreciate these guys for responding in a shockingly timely manner, and being polite about it and having some enthusiasm to talk about this topic today. All right, here are my legitimate closing words. I appreciate everyone over the past, man, I started my channel in 2015, but we're not going to count that. Since 2020, I have had this small base of people who watch almost every single one of my videos, who know who I am. I just kind of want to say thank you, everyone. All the people that I played Crim with, whether they were friendlies or if they were enemies, I love every one of you. You guys genuinely made a dark time in my life, maybe a little bit less dark, if not a little chaotic. I appreciate everyone's support over the past couple years. I don't know what this channel is really going to turn into because nowadays I kind of don't do a whole lot of game montages. I am kind of working on something montage. I know. I thought those days were over, but there's an APOC 1 remake that's coming out called Altered Reality, and I think it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of clipping montage capabilities there, and I think I might make something silly once I get some time in and get some footage going. But I work a full-time job and I have outside hobbies, so that's why you see a lot of motorcycle videos and car videos nowadays, is because I go touch grass, I go drive, dude. Like, it's crazy to me. So I think I'm gonna end off things here. I hope everyone has a good day. I hope that you go to bed tonight and you wake up in the morning feeling refreshed and ready to start your day. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.